All right, I guess we're live. Yeah, today we're going to actually do a live review. I got a new camera. I want to try it out. And I got a new figure. The NECA Predator.AHAB Ultimate Edition. Comes in a nice collector-friendly box, like most NECAs do. Great images there. See if they'll focus in there. Let's say we just get this out of the box. Do I have a knife handy? I do. See, NECA puts these little hang tabs on here too, but Target doesn't actually stock those on pegs. They're usually just over by the electronics on a shelf. It's the background inside the window box. There's a bunch of pieces. What do we got here? Oh, his mask. Let's see here. Let's start taking some parts out of here. There's his shoulder cannon. Lots of parts in here. Gotta use something here to get some leverage on these parts. There's a gauntlet with blades coming out. Okay, so that actually is an entire sliding. It's a single unit. Slides in and out. Looks like I have to cut some banding. What else is new, right? It's an action figure, so. This actually fits in his hand. One of those slice and dicers. Come on, focus in. Focus. No? I'll have to work on that. Anyway, we'll see how that goes in the long run. Looks like we get a extra pair of hands. Probably one for that slicing disc that we just looked at. Right there. And this one here just looks like a fist. But again, don't know till we get in it. Let's see if we can get AHAB out of his package now. Oh, there's more to cut. This is the part that when you're pre-producing a video that you don't have to show. And now this is the annoying part, to tell you the truth. Lots of accessories here. It's probably why they call it the Ultimate Edition. That's about 11 inches long. You're getting some gnarly stuff. That's a very substantial piece right there. And I think I see one little guy right in there. I'm not sure what that is. For now, it's tiny, so I'll leave it in the package until I have to refer back to it. All right. Anything else that's tied in here? Nope. Nope, I don't think so. All right. We should be able to punch him out now. And, oh, wow. He's got a cloth cape. That's the first one I have like that. Let's see here. Boy, he's got stubborn legs. But NECA figures usually have very tight joints. And I can appreciate that. get this other stuff out of the way. And let's have a look at AHAB. Now what you can see right away in AHAB's eye, it's gone. Focus in. No, doesn't want to focus in. Maybe back here. Anyway, AHAB's eye is gone. And what I noticed through the window is you can see the battle damage on his helmet. It coincides with that eye being gone. Before we go through his articulation, let's see how this mask actually fits on his face. I'm trying here. Actually fits pretty good. And it's just a pressure fit. Nice fishnet in here. I guess I have to. It's not zooming as fast as I would like it to. It's like there's too much in the background. So yeah, this is a learning experience for me as well. So let's see here. Let's go through his articulation. Let's take his mask off. You can get this much movement out of his head. That's actually not bad for a Predator figure. I have some that just don't move because of the hair. It seems to me that they made the hair, the dreadlocks, more pliable. So that much back, not much movement. Yeah, I guess there is. You can really get some down look there and some up look right like that. Not too bad. Let's see here. Wow, these joints are tough. Got double jointed elbows, as you can see. Bring that all the way back like so. And let's see, got a pin, a pin and a hinge, like so. These retract. Yep, these blades retract as well. Might as well go ahead and point that out right now. We have a joint in the mid torso there. Not much movement though. You get some movement in the back, not much movement. You got joint at the waist. Lace only go out so much. Back only that much. Forward only that much. A double jointed knee, as you can see. And pin and a hinge in the foot. Not much of a rocking motion there. So let's see how some of this other stuff. Okay, I have his little computer on his arm there. See that? He's like, no, he's like, what's up? Hey, what's up? All right, let's see here. This shoulder cannon is going to be fun to put on, I think. And I don't mean that in the fun like, oh, this is going to be enjoyable. I mean, great. I got the cape to contend with. I have dreads to contend with. So you got this little peg nipple system there. And then you have a little port right there. And we're supposed to try to get that in there. And I say it's supposed to lock in like so first from the back. You see this? This is out of the way. Right there. And you have that little. I'm doing the best I can here, guys. Maybe this is not going to be a good idea for reviews. But I don't know until I try. What's up, guys? Hi, B-Man. Hi, MIB. How you doing? I'm just trying out a new webcam that I purchased, and I'm trying to do a review at the same time. And so far, it's proven to be somewhat futile. This is quite a task to get this on here with this cape and the hair. He's got lots of dreads. And now with the Predator, the shoulder cannon is always a pain in the butt to attach with all of that hair in the way. And I guess if I used a little heat to warm it up, you know, it might be easier. But right now, it's a hell of a go. Oh, wait a minute. I think I kind of got it. There. Shoulder cannon is on for now. So, yeah. All right. Now we have, this is another gauntlet. And I believe this actually covers the computer panel there. But don't sue me on that. So let's check to have a look here. Hi, Past Gas. How you doing, buddy? How's the weather in Northern California right now? About 30 degrees here. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure how this one is supposed to. Oh, you know what? I see. I see, said the blind man to his deaf dog. I believe it slides in. I'm just making stuff up. I don't know how that goes in there. Maybe it's actually supposed to go on this one. Let's see here. Yeah, there we are. So you got the double blade right there. I believe this triple blade just replaces it like so. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I think so. Or not. Yeah, there you are. And of course, that will slide in and out like so. There we are. We got a lot of stuff here. I can't. Well, this must be his gun. I see a trigger right there. That ought to be fun putting in. Of course, he has this trophy. Of course, that looks like a human trophy, not an alien trophy. Way to go, Ahab, slaughtering some humans. And I think I already had this on once, but it's a pressure fit. Well, I appreciate it, MIP. It's like, you know, this is the stuff you try to figure out in a real review, and then you take it to, you know, the editing room and you clean it up. But this is what happens in a real review. As you know, MIB, you do reviews yourself. You know? So, yeah. I think his mask fits a little wonky. It looks good from that angle. But when you turn it around, if you can see, it doesn't sit flat. Oh, wait a minute. I spoke too soon. I had to give it. That looks much better. Nice and flat now. Very cool. And again, I got some extra hands here, but I think this is the weapon I actually like. This almost reminds me of a Batman weapon. And I believe you're supposed to shove not that hand joint. Maybe here. Let's see. You got 1, 2, 3, yeah, like that. As soon as I get it on there, I'll show you. And his fingers just go right through that there. And I'm not sure if I like the way that fits. I thought the original one fit much nicer. I mean, I like figures that give you a lot of accessories, but not if the accessories are unpleasant. And if it's just something that's going to be constantly falling off, you know, it drives me nuts. Now, in order to use this spear here, I would have to swap out his hands. And I really don't want to do that. Now, how does he hold that? Or how, you know, again, you just love the way they give you instructions. Let me have a look at the box here. Yeah. Oh, well, he actually is holding that with the hand I need for this guy. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I can see him holding that pretty good. Maybe. He's very proud. Human killer. Yeah. Sorry. What's up, Rick? How you doing? Sorry if I'm not actually paying attention to the chat. I'm playing with action figures. I'm actually reviewing the new NECA Predator.AHAB. Trying it live. I don't know if I'm actually going to use this format or not. Maybe every so often with a figure that, I don't know. That's a nice figure. I have a lot of these Predators, but wow, there's a lot of parts. You just can't run right through this figure and get the full essence of it. You know, this is the first NECA Predator that I have with actual soft good capes. I notice everybody's jumping on that soft good bandwagon. I believe with Mezco 112, and I've done quite a few of those reviews, I believe that was such a big hit that everybody, I know everybody's been making Mego style figures for a while, but the higher end and highly detailed figures weren't touching any of the soft goods until Mezco, the 112 collective line. And now I think everybody's jumping on that soft good bandwagon, you know, and it either works or it doesn't. In this case, I will say, I think it works, because one of the toughest things about the NECA Predator was when they had a cape, it was a hard plastic, and their dreadlocks were very thick, so you couldn't get any movement. And I think this is actually working pretty darn well, you know. So, yeah. Yeah, you know, they've been doing this, and this is not a repaint. I have quite a few. I think I have 7 Predators from NECA. This is not a repaint. Out of the 7 that I have, I think 3 of those are just repaints. And the last, matter of fact, he's not in the box. He's on display. But that was also a brand new Predator. This is the Fugitive Predator. That was also a new mold from NECA, and as is this. Because, you know, if you're going to put out a lot of variations, you're going to just use the same mold, whether it be the Jungle Demon or, you know, the same Jungle Demon, which is not materialized into the jungle, you know, so that's just a repaint. And they do that quite often. And this one here is a completely new sculpt. However, one thing is consistent is that Predator species, they love to wear fishnet. So they like for you to shove dollars in their fishnet, I guess. So, yeah. Let's see. Yes, they did. It's called the retro cloth. In fact, I'm glad you brought that up, Rick Baker, because I just picked up Colonel Taylor from the Planet of the Apes from NECA, and that is an 8-inch retro cloth, Mego style. We're going to do a review on that, but I'm not going to do it live because I want it to look clean and I want it to look, you know, well, I want you to get some detail. I want to be able to hold it up. He lost his human skull. Hold it up and where you can get some focus there. See, and that's the problem this camera suffers right here. Back here, you see it just fine, you know. But I just picked that up for 20 bucks at the used toy store. I just put the video up, and I'm eager to get inside that NECA retro cloth too. because I've seen them reviewed over at the Review Spot, a great channel, by the way. And I actually wanted to check one of them out, and I found one at the used toy store. No, by no means is it used; it's sealed in plastic. So we are going to get the honor of opening it and having a look. From what I can see, I mean, it looks like Charlton Heston. So the sculpt is fantastic in typical NECA fashion. You're getting a fantastic sculpt in the head in Colonel Taylor. So we will have to have a look at that. But I think this will be fun every so often, so I can actually talk to you guys live and be like a party, you know, and then we'll have a figure, talk about figure, you know, whatever, you know, just whatever. Yeah, it's cool. So I've been wanting to get into this. I've had this several days. Now, just so you know, I didn't find this at my Target or any of the Targets that I frequent. And I frequent at least 4 every other day looking for new product. I found this one at one of my Targets. I did not know this one existed. My brother, he has a different set of Targets he goes to. He lives somewhere else. He found these at his Target, and he grabbed me one, and I'm very fortunate for that. So, hey, thanks, brother. So that was very nice. And again, I'm not going to sit there and try to get all of these weapons in his hands. However, you know, you hear that. That's a very substantial weapon, you know. I have seen Snake Plissken online. I have not seen him in my hand, you know, but if it's a cool figure, I'm going to buy it because I did like Escape from New York. And I thought it was pretty good. And if the likeness looks like Kurt Russell, that'll be even a big bonus. Yes, me and my B. That's the idea. So it's not just about a review, or, you know, you could ask questions like, hey, how shitty is that figure? Is that figure worth the money? You know, instantly I could tell you, yeah, it's a good value. And, you know, I'm going to be honest, or I'm going to say, no, this is a piece of crap. You know, this one is actually worth the money. For the most part, they are. I have reviewed some NECAs in the past, and they've been duds. You know, like, it leave you with that, huh? Look, you know, like, what did I just do? You know, what just happened? So they've had their fair share of duds too. But for the most part, I would say 80% of what I got from them has been fantastic. You know, and one of my favorite figures from them is the Alien Queen deluxe set, and that's a big, massive figure. And I think that's kind of their standard. You know, this is their standard. But every so often, you get that dud. You know, and like the Gremlin, I did the Gremlin, and just left me scratching my head. What happened? You know, the designers were on crack that day, but I didn't care for that figure. So they have their quirks too. So yeah, I think on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to start doing this too, because I got to be fair, you know. And I mean, there's no such thing as everything being a 10 or everything being a 1. So you got to use a scale. And what I'm going to take into factor is the price, and the sculpt, and the durability. I think on a scale from 1 to 10, this is going to get an 8.5. It's very nice. I mean, that's a high scale. So, you know, so far since I started doing this scale, there's only 110, and that was that creature from the Black Lagoon. And I weighed in the fact that it was a toy for ages 5 and up. It was an affordable figure at the time. I mean, just because I had to pay $65 for it doesn't change the fact it was only a $19.99 figure at Toys R Us back in 2014. And they did end up clearancing them out for $10. Wish I was in line that day, but I didn't. Had soft goods. The sculpt was fantastic. The joints were rock solid. It had everything in there that made it a 10. You guys watched that review. That was awesome. And so, yeah, that's how you have to. This is not a kid's toy. It states right on there, adult collectible, which means it says ages 17 and up, which means don't hand this to a kid because the fingers will be broken off, or they could poke their eyes out. Those are like little knives right there. So, yeah, that has to factor into. Look, I'm a toy collector. These are collectibles. These are manufactured collectibles. So you have to factor that in on your scale. Will this last in a kid's hands? No. Will a kid hang on to all of these parts? No. So if this was not a toy channel or review channel, where the guy running the review channel was not a toy collector, this would probably get a higher mark. But I like to review toys. This is a collectible. As far as collectibles go, it gets an 8.5 and a toy hybrid. So, yeah. Anyway, now I'm rambling. Wow, I can't keep up with you guys. Aren't NECA figures known for having tight joints? And you have, yes, absolutely, past gas. And yeah, even I was just saying when I was putting this shoulder cannon on that I should have heated it. Maybe just under, hot tap water usually works just fine. Just to get it up over this, because it latches there and up and over. So you latch it there and you have to push it forward. Had I warmed that up, that would have been much easier. But now I would have had to get up and leave the camera, and that's probably one of the downfalls of doing a live review. In fact, it is, unless I had a warm cup of water here, but then that could be messy too. So let's see. Yes. Yes, I agree with you, Rick. NECA is, if you're going to go with this, is classified as a 7-inch figure. This scale is perfect for display because it's bigger than a 6-inch, and they get really dainty, and those joints are always crap. I don't care what 6-inch I handle, it's always garbage. And I don't want to start throwing spaghetti again in the face of Hasbro, but this is a $27 figure. If you saw the parts and the detail you get, you have to compare that to a $20 Hasbro Marvel Legends or Star Wars Black Series. They don't look like this. They don't even look like they're $7 cheaper. When you set them side by side, that Hasbro looks like it should be a $9 figure. That's what you get in the package. When you have this to compare it to at $27, Hasbro's a $9 figure. I mean, pound for pound, dollar for dollar. So yes, Rick, these are pretty fantastic figures. So yeah, I mean, I so appreciate you guys tuning in. I made a video earlier just, checking out the camera that I just picked up from Best Buy. First off, quick story if you didn't watch that video. I bought a 1080p web camera from Logitech. The regular price was $80, on sale at Best Buy for $49.99. I did a live stream on my original laptop camera, 720. It looked like shit, absolutely looked like garbage. So I wanted to upgrade that. I want to try to go live at least once a week. I don't want to make any promises, but I like to have that option. So yeah, the laptop 720 camera wasn't going to be doing it. So I got that camera. Then I just, when I got impatient and said, well, I'm going to try a review. And you guys tuned in, and that's huge. That's awesome. Appreciate that. So yeah. Anyway. Well, I appreciate that, MIB. I'm blushing. You see me? See me? I'm blushing. I do appreciate it. And by the way, I look forward to your new video. I haven't seen a video out of you in a couple days, buddy. I know you're probably out trying to look for some Amigo figures. And, oh, I'm glad I brought that up. So I learned how to use the Target mobile app. That, by the way, that concludes my review on NECA's Predator.AHAB. This is new from NECA. This is the Ultimate Edition. You get a whole bunch of stuff with it that you'll probably never use as a collector who puts it on display. So that concludes that. All right, so get that out of the way. See it over there, AHAB. So I've discovered how to use the Target app. And I wasn't logging in. So now, no, hold on. It's cool. It's laughable. I'm coming to the point. It's laughable. It's a joke. And so anyway, I learned how to use the app. So I had to log in, and there's a feature in there where I can actually go to what you told me, Rick, out of stock, and it shows everything. And you click on the one that you want that's out of stock, and it says notify me when this is in stock. So I went down, and all of the ones that I was interested in, which I believe was 5 figures, it was the 14-inch Batman, it was the Flash, 14-inch Flash, it was the Kirk, the 8-inch Kirk, the Gene Simmons, the Paul Stanley, and of course, there's no werewolf on there. Get that out of there. It's never been on there. Hold on. I don't know. Yeah, hold on. I don't know if it works. Well, there's a story. I got to tell you. So I got it all set up, and I set up, and then I get this notice, little messenger, because they ask you for your phone number, and I get a message. Target. It said the Captain Kirk is now available. So I click on the message. It takes me straight to the link, and I click on the Kirk, and there a green button. It says add to cart. It said you right there, one left. So I hit add to cart, and it went gray, and nothing was in my cart. And it says this item is temporarily out of stock. That fast. The window was so tiny. I was by my phone. Half hour later, maybe 35 minutes later, I got another message from Target that said the Gene Simmons figure was now available. Same thing. I hit the button. There was a green button that said add to cart, and I hit add to cart, and nothing happened. It was gone. That fast. So yeah, I think they're just jerking with us. Who knows? But you know what? It saves me a lot of time from running around store to find nothing. Full disclosure, I hit 2 more stores. He says, I got you beat. Try paying for the figure and the next day saying it's back ordered. You see, now that's just wrong. You see, they have these figures in stock. I cannot believe the distribution to Target has been so wonky. I tried it on Monday and I actually got it to work. Well, what did you end up getting? Did you buy something, MIB? Okay, I'll just keep talking. I'll watch for your answer down here. So anyway, my point is, at least twice today, what did you buy, MIB? So at least twice today, I got notifications from Target stating that some figures were actually available. And I haven't checked my phone yet. Maybe I got another message. No, no more new messages. There's a message right there. It says I'm SOL. If you don't know what that means, I think you'll figure it out. So yeah, but in full disclosure, I did hit 2 Targets today. The same. Okay, good. I'm looking forward to it, MIB. Maybe you should go live with that one too, so we can interact with you. Yeah, there was nothing at the new Target. Same old, same old. The wave 1, and you know, one Target only has wave 1, but the other Target has a mixture of wave 1 and wave 2. A generous mixture of wave 1 and wave 2. Wave 2 figures you absolutely don't want. They had like 13 Bewitched figures over there. Nobody wants that. That's why they're still sitting there. You know, I think this is a cool format. If we have something to talk about, you know, I'm going to try to make it a regular Friday night thing, you know, because I don't ever have to worry about anything on Saturday morning or anything like that. Well, I hope so. You know what, Rick? Somebody told me that they got that 14-inch Flash and it had a new body and it had a ratcheting torso and very tight shoulder joints and knee joints. If that's the case, congratulations. You just bought a good figure. But I'm just going by somebody who commented in one of the videos I made. And if that's the case, that's awesome, you know, because that's quite a lot of work to make those 14-inch figures good. That's excellent. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm looking forward to finding out if that's the case. Yeah. So did he open it? Does RV open his toys? I think he does. I think I watch his channels. He does open his toys. So yeah, maybe you can touch base with him and see if all of his joints are ratcheted up and tight. You know, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to sweat it. If I want to find them organically, I'm not giving scalpers on eBay any more of my money. I did that with Dracula, and not 2 days later, I found Draculas in the wild. I bought a Frankenstein, and literally not 2 days later, I found him in the wild. Good. And by the way, I don't care how much you look at Target.com, there was never a screaming werewolf on there. It doesn't appear under out of stock or anything else. That thing is a ghost. That my suspicion is that went directly from Mego distribution hands straight to eBay. I don't think it ever made it in a Target system whatsoever. It is not on their website. Well, you know, I actually like the fact that you can actually go back to MIB's channel, because I throw all my boxes, not all my boxes. If they're collector friendly boxes, I keep them. But I like the fact that you can go back to MIB's channel and you can see exactly the packaging that they were in, because again, I don't have that self-control. I don't. The only way I had that self-control is I just recently reviewed a bunch of old mid-90s McFarlane toys. And the only reason why is because, you know, out of sight, out of mind. But now that I got a cause, I'll keep these boxes for, you know, just so you know, he's still on display. And of course, these boxes, I'll keep these because these are all collector-friendly boxes. But all those other packages, like from the Migos, I tear them open and I throw those in the garbage. I just want the figure. And I don't know, I'm just like a child, Christmas time. Yeah, no, so yeah, you can always go back to MIB's channel and see what the packages look like. And you can always say, I remember when. Yeah, so yeah. Anyway, what does this say? Word on the street is that it's being held for Christmas season. Well, right, it's being held on eBay. Well, yeah, I mean, you have a lot of stuff in there. And let me ask you a question. How long have you been collecting MIB? I'm going to guess at least 20 years. Because I actually, before my first child was born, she's 25 and she made me a grandfather this year. I was collecting toys in the 90s. Wow. So yeah, it's been a long time. So yeah. And then I got back into toy collecting this year. Well, that's actually a good idea too. But understand this. I am so limited to space because I'm into many hobbies. I don't know if you're aware of this, but before there was a Howlin' Wolf Reviews, there was a Howlin' Wolf RC. That channel is still up. I don't post to it often, but you know, it got up to 838 subscribers, and you know, then I just moved directions. It was very expensive running RC cars and buying RC cars, and oh man, the beating we put them through. Every video was, you know, a $60 to $80 repair just to make sure you had something to video for the next week. And then there was times we took 6 to 8 cars to the track, and that was 6 to 8 cars we beat the crap out of. You know, yeah. So some of my funnest RC videos were the trail trucks, because I could slow it down. Those trail trucks had a top speed of 10 miles per hour, but they look so fantastic. You know, just because they're slower doesn't mean they were cheaper. In many cases, like, you know, I have a blue Toyota pickup truck. There's $1,100 sitting in that truck, and it's a 110 scale. It's about, that big. And, you know, we go for realism. And so that was fun on that channel. But then, like I said, every time you take them out, you know, another 3 to 4 hours in repairs and $60 to $70 in parts. And it was fun. It was fine. But you have to ask yourself, you know, why am I doing this? I'm not making any money on YouTube. And don't get me wrong, at the time, I actually was making a few bucks, but not enough to cover the repairs of a single video, single repair in one video. Then, of course, they changed the rules on eBay or YouTube. But they wanted to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Well, I blew the watch hours out of the way, but I didn't have 1,000 subscribers. So I slowly moved away from that. But I still have all my vehicles in running order. So nothing's sitting around here destroyed. So yeah, if I ever want to pick back up and start adding stuff to that channel, I can do that. Wow, I don't even know how you have that kind of control, and how did you manage to keep that without your mom and dad getting rid of that when you moved away? Because that's what happens to most of us, right? We leave the house and then, well, shit just disappears, I think, you know? So yeah, I hope you guys are not at work. You guys are not at work, are you? Ah, I see. By the way, speaking of you looking at vintage Migos, oh, that's good. Speaking of looking at vintage Migos, you know, you do the math. You can get vintage Migos for the price of what they're scalping these Wave 3 Migos for. And we all know that vintage Migos are going to hold a value. So when you invest the money in them, as long as you're not going to pay way above retail, let's be honest. But for what they were actually getting for that Screaming Werewolf, man, you can get some nice Migos for that price. I'm a really nice vintage Migos. That's just my 2 cents. Like I said, I just picked up a mint condition at the antique store. You guys may have seen it in one of my videos. A mint condition 1974 Star Trek Klingon, and that thing is phenomenal. $20. You know, so you put that in perspective. That is something that's been around, and it's a true collectible. It went from a child's toy to being that's like, you know, that ark that Indiana Jones was looking for. You found it. It's in great condition, you know. So yeah, you know, and then now the blue Batman. You know, I saw that blue Batman, that 14-inch Batman, sell for $120 on eBay, and I thought to myself, the person that bought that must have more money than brains, because that blue Batman is not going to be any different than the gray Batman, the Superman, Lantern, Batgirl. Soon enough, it will be sitting on Target's shelf collecting dust. They're not fooling me. You know, the same things happen to every one of these waves. You know. $120. And the Joker's never gonna. The Joker looks cool, but these literally are. You gotta keep. I heard of watching one review, and forgive me, I don't want to drop his name. Well, I don't remember his name. He says there's a couple figures I need from Target, and I heard that. I went, need? No, you don't need them. You want them. You know, you need to eat. You need to drink water. You need to get your ass to work to pay your bills. Those are things you need. You know, you need both ankles to walk around on. You know, you need both shoulders to be working so you can do your job. But you don't need action figures, you know. And he says he has to go to Target to need them. Then we didn't find them. He says, well, you know, I gotta find them. I need them. And then he picked up a NECA figure. I forget the name of the channel. I watch them on a regular basis, but you know, you got to use your words better. Because did I need Ahab? No, I wanted Ahab. There's a difference. I mean, I can't eat Ahab's hand and survive. It's something I wanted. Do I need that Batman? No. Will I want him for $20? You better believe it. You know, do I want the Joker for $20? You bet. No, I'm not spending $100 on eBay for any 14-inch Mego figure. You know. Well, yeah, I want the Mego Werewolf too. However, I would love for it to be a universal licensed werewolf. But just full disclosure, I never heard of the face of the Screaming Werewolf. And when they put the figure out, you can actually watch that, the face of the Screaming Werewolf, on Tubi. That's a free app. So if you got your phone, you can download Tubi, Tubi, and you can watch that movie for free. Just, I warned you. That is a bloody awful movie. And, yeah, the movie sucked. But it is a Mego monster. And it looks pretty good. And it looks just like the werewolf did from the face of the Screaming Werewolf. But I digress. It says, Mego were at their peak value back in the late 90s to the early 2000s. These days, yeah, for years, people have been manufacturing some 8-inch retro cloth figures, and some of them have been awesome, you know. And I'll just point out two, and one is better than the other. And it was the Diamond Select put out by MC Toys, which I come to understand is another Marty Abrams company, MC Toys, which meant Mego Corporation. But those figures were fantastic. In fact, I got a toy catalog from 1997, Tobart's action figure collection. And by the way, I hope you got a chance to look through yours, MIB. But it has nothing but Migos in it. It's a whole feature. The entire catalog was a feature on Migos. And someday we'll have a look at that too. But yeah, that was back in 1997. And that was like, at the time, trying to hunt down 1977 Star Wars figures from Kenner. And they were pricey as hell. But then along came the internet. And then everything settled down, because we found out they weren't as scarce as we thought they were. Because let's face it, the internet, it's a great big world out there, and everybody's got some toys in their closet from 30 years ago. And that's what happened. I'm trying to read you guys here. Yeah, definitely saturated. Well, I said it was a C movie. Now I didn't even give it B class. You know, a B class movie to me is Forbidden Planet with Leslie Nielsen. I think that was 58, 59. That was a fantastic movie. Another B class movie would be Plan 9 from Outer Space, an Ed Wood film. The movie was bloody awful, but it's got a cult following, and I enjoy watching it. Those are B movies. I think that what happened was the Fury of the Scream, the Face of the Screaming Werewolf, was two movies. One was about a mummy, which Lon Chaney Jr. was in. These were filmed in Mexico. And one was about a werewolf. Two separate movies that they took together and put them together. So the mummy was actually, well, let's see, reanimated. And when he was reanimated, he became the werewolf, the screaming werewolf. And so if you haven't watched it, go ahead and get yourself some popcorn and maybe some Jameson Irish whiskey and sit down and have a good laugh. And for the first 15 minutes, you're laughing because nothing's happening. And for the last hour and 10 minutes, hour and 5 minutes, you'll be sleeping because that movie was boring. You know. Right. You're right. Because of his name, it became a B film. And you know, you put anybody else in there, and it's definitely a C-class film. And the dialogue is horrible. Absolutely crap. So, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to close this out. It's been awesome talking to you guys. You guys have been fantastic, you know, and this has been fun. It really is. It's like I get to talk to people from around the United States, and I never left my basement. Well, hell, I never did leave my basement. And I always got my fire on right back there, you know. The idea is to have like a fireside chat like FDR used to do back in the 40s, letting people know over the radio. You could just hear the fire crackling over the radio back then. They didn't have TV. Letting you know. Yes, Paul Clark's company. Marty was just a paid mascot on the cover. Okay. He said he had nothing to do with the company. That creative team, yeah. Yeah, those figures don't look like anything Mego put out. I mean, these were fantastic, and thanks for the heads up on that. By the way, I ran across, Rick, you might know this, I ran across the Graveyard Zombie. Marty's face was on the back of that too. That was also MC Toys, but no Diamond Select distribution. But it was a Graveyard Zombie from Night of the Living Dead. Now, was that a Marty Abrams company, or was that somebody else? That same MC, which I believe you said was Paul Clark's company. So maybe you could answer that, because I didn't take it. The guy wanted $30 for it. $30 is not a bad price for me. But I mean, it was the cellophane bubble packet was yellow, like it's been sitting in a smoker's environment for a long time. So I passed on it. Now, if I would have got it for 20, I don't care. I would have just ripped it out of his package and, you know, been done. So yeah, that's a Paul Clark company, because that figure looked phenomenal. It looked just like the Graveyard Zombie that opened up the scene, you know. I will go to Dr. Mego website. I'll check it out. I like to go to the Mego Museum too, but I think the Dr. Mego site is a little less, you know, busy with Marty Abrams stink on it. You know, I don't know. That's a really good question. By the way, I only have, from the Pocket Heroes, I have the Batmobile and Batman. I have the Robin. Haven't found him yet, but yeah, that was a really cool line and durable as hell. Those plastic vehicles they put out there, I mean, those vehicles take a beating, you know, the Pocket Heroes. And yeah, in fact, if I remember correctly, that was one of my favorite Batman right there, that little Pocket Hero there, because he was tough as hell. All right, yeah, you guys have a great afternoon. I'll see you sometime this weekend with another review. But this review will be a pre-produced video, because I'm going to be looking at Diamond Select's, NECA's Retro Cloth 8-inch Colonel Taylor from the Planet of the Apes. So yeah, guys, take care. All righty then.